I think we both enjoyed the 7-hour show last week.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was our longest ever. And what a delight to have to slog through it a second time.
Well, I'm just saying,
I was as big a problem as you, though. I have to say, I got all pontificatey in hour 2.
Well, I don't remember a lot of it, which is a blessing now.
I think
that's
it is
what the
a blessing.
doctor says.
Right. It's like you can't remember pain exactly.
Exactly. There used to be a reason that I had a sense of smell and could feel pain. But it's been disconnected now. And overall, everything's better.
Yeah, if you're going to have a nerve disorder, that's the one. The pain disconnect.
I'm lost it already. And in fact, I think I'm losing it now. I feel like the end of an old movie.
Yeah.
Where I'm flashing on and off.
Is this 2001?
2001. Oh. Why would I do Merv Griffin? Oh.
At least it was era appropriate to the movie.
Well,
Mr. Kubrick, yes, you've made quite a film.
I did have to ask you one question. Did we lose me when I'm, when you were mocking me for saying?
When you're mocking me for saying.
Right, we were mocking me for saying, my mom has Parkinson's. My mom has Parkinson's. Oh.
No, that's in there.
We have that, right?
Yeah.
From the original session?
Huh? Oh, no.
Because I was wondering if we lost that.
I know.
My mom has Parkinson's.
I can't remember.
You mocked me so well.
And I think that was the previous show.
Okay. Your mother, does she wear, does your mother eat oats? Hey, hey, Eddie, your mother's a Quaker?
Right.
What does she eat? Oats?
People who believe in God are stupid. My mother's a Quaker. How dare you make fun of my mother?
My mother's officially, she might be suffering from dementia. It's so delightful. It really is. Why is it hot in here? It was cold everywhere else.
I'm going to change that.
No.
Nope, changing it.
No, I made the mistake of wearing this.
You complained.
No, I made. It's my mistake because I shouldn't have worn. Susan's trying to talk me out of this sweatshirt in general.
The old Jewish years have set in. He's complaining about the temperature in the first 5 minutes.
But Susan is saying the way this drapes on me is not attractive. So when I wear these, what I like to wear, because you like me in them, tight T-shirts. It's not good for a man my age to have a tight T-shirt because
you're not wearing a tight. You're wearing a hoodie.
No, today I went both ways with it. I have a shirt with a collar, and the hoodie. I think I didn't need the hoodie, but I thought I was getting nippy in the air.
It kind of feels like Mr. Rogers. You changed into it when you came in.
Is this what happens when someone's near retirement on their show, and they say it's a little nippy? You know what? It feels good, but it's a little nippy in the air.
Why is it hot in here? Is it hot? I feel hot. It's hot, isn't it? I feel hot.
I felt bad for Carl Reiner because I love Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
Because he got fooled the same way I did into thinking there wasn't a new Saturday Night Live.
I saw that, yeah.
Because I made the same mistake because for some reason at the later hour they were running an old one.
They run old ones from 10 to 11.
I know you're right, but I know you're right, and I know that. Oh my God!
They've been running it live at 8:30, then playing an hour rerun, and then playing it repeating this week's show at 11:30.
Well, it makes my I don't have TiVo, but it makes my digital.
But yeah, Carl Reiner tweeted, "It's too bad Saturday Night Live didn't have a new show this week. It would have been nice to see their take on things," or something like that.
I know, and it's like, here's the thing.
There's two things that are sad. One, he didn't understand. But two, their take on things wasn't that sharp this week.
Well, you see, I can't even. I have a problem with the show now. I cannot watch the show objectively because I was invited to a party by Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So those are personal. Now I have personal stakes in the show. Oh, but when you do it with Seth Rogen,
hey,
make fun of Seth Rogen.
I've known Steve Higgins. How long have you known Steve Higgins? He's been producing the show for 25 years.
Long enough that he said to me on Facebook, Andy, please stop saying horrible things about Saturday Night Live.
There you go.
Do you remember that years ago?
No, I don't.
And he goes, I can see this. He says, I can see this. Yes.
So you've had personal stakes this whole time, is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is I think there were a lot of misses Saturday, but I do like...
Did you hear that, Colin?
No. Those guys are brilliant. Brilliant. It's brilliant. I thought Pete Davidson was great.
Who missed more, Colin or Michael?
Who missed more?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Who had more misses?
No, they were both good. And you know what? Even when they're not good, they're handsome. But I love Kate. Here's what I'm saying. I love Kate McKinnon, and I love some of these people so much that, like, she kind of turned her thing into a thing. I don't know if that was a consistent opening piece, but it did make me laugh when they were all celebrating.
Yeah, it didn't make me laugh.
I know it wasn't strong. Wasn't really strong.
You know what?
I like Aquafina.
You know what makes you sound us sound older than?
Is it hot?
Is it hot?
A Saturday Night Live wrap up.
No, it would be really.
I actually went out to dinner with people in Silver Lake last night. Well, Los Feliz, to be honest.
Why would you lie about it? What was your first thing? Silver Lake?
Yeah.
And Los Feliz is not as cool.
Well, I don't know. I didn't want to think I was like city dropping.
I was in Abbey Road Studios yesterday, or I was in Culver City Studios.
So that was fun. I went out with my friend Bill Corbett, who was a latter-day Mystery Science Theater cast guy.
I know him. I believe I follow him on Twitter.
I think you do, yeah.
And the other, there's a lady, too, I follow on Twitter.
Mary Jo Peel?
Yes.
There you go.
Is she from the original cast?
She's not from the original cast, but she was there after I left, but she was there many years as a writer and then a cast member. And she was in Cinematic Titanic.
Yeah.
More importantly, she was in Cinematic Titanic.
Why do you phrase it that way?
Because it's more important to me.
Well, I can't argue with that logic. What am I going to say? It's not more important to you? Why do I feel drunk? I'm not drunk.
You're not drunk?
I'm on a deadline, but I'm not drunk.
What are you deadlining?
Deadline Hollywood. Remember that when people like that had websites?
What are you deadlining?
I have to. I'm pitching a show for England land. Like it's so far we're calling it Andy Kindler, Jew Out of Water.
Okay.
And I hope they go with that name. That's all I got so far. No, so what I'm trying to do is like a show where it's like, they have these show. There's a show, and it's actually very good. They have W. Kamau Bell. He goes out and kind of challenges on CNN. He kind of challenges the dark side of some of these. Like I think he's been with the KKK.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's a guy in England who does the same thing. And I can't think of his name, but he's very funny.
Yeah.
And he also goes out, but these people seem like they could get. I don't want anything like that. That's not the type of show I want to do. I don't want any confrontation. I don't want any danger. Like if I can mock a Nazi without
safely,
okay. Right.
So
but I also don't want to.
Andy mocks a picture of a Nazi in England.
I also don't want to do the classic Daily Show interviews where the people don't know that they're being made fun of.
Okay, so what's the pitch?
Okay, so the pitch is me exploring, feeling like an outsider, both in America because of this idiot Trump, and then in England, and then exploring the similar things in England, like Brexit or their health care, but not like it can't be. Here's the problem with these kind of pitches. What else do you want me to say?
How is it funny? Because you can't pitch something in the negative like that. You can't just go and say it's not this, it's not this, it's not this.
That's how I've sold nothing all these years, my friend.
Exactly. I mean, you have to tell them what it is. And why it's not those things.
No, because I think
it's not those successful things.
I think if I say it funny, I can say that I just want to briefly mention the tone of the show. The tone of the show is not confrontational or like Sacha Baron Cohen,
right?
Gotcha journalism,
right? But what is it?
So what that is we don't really know. They want me to come up with some ideas, and I have some ideas, but I don't have like it's like I don't have I'm in a space. I'm never good at this. I'm in a spaceship, and I say I'm going to go to England because I have an important meeting with Doctor Who. I have no plot.
Well, but you don't need a plot. I mean, you don't need me to tell you what to do either. But,
well, they like the Letterman pieces,
right? But here's what I'm saying:
they like
is that
stuff out in the field.
At least imagine to yourself what a best case scenario one of these would be.
I think you would get into. Well, what I'm trying to narrow it down is getting it into. I kind of want to talk about Nazis and new atheists, but I don't want
but without confrontation.
Without confrontation, and so I don't think I can with those things. I think there's a way of approaching healthcare or something like that that is like, I'm not just, I don't want to be Michael Mooring it, but maybe there's a way I can be delightful with people. Because I'm a fish out of water. If you have any ideas, I'm on a deadline, so please throw them in the pot.
No, I'm not jumping in like I always do.
Well, it's not like I'm Lucy. And you're getting involved in one of my
Let me do some free work for you. Here, I'll let you swing my rat on a string.
Here's the situation. I have a limited number of things that I've come up with, and I have a way of working that the same thing happens a lot. And so I'm now at the point where...
Had you come to me and said, Josh, I would like some help on my show... Maybe we could work on it together. Then I might have had some answers for you.
You come to me.
But no, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, and you say, I'm on a deadline. What kind of friendship is that?
You come to me. You come to me, and I say to you, you come to me. You say, Godfather. I really wanted to go off of, I wanted to yes and...
By doing
Godfather.
The same impression I just did.
No, but
you were supposed to do the Cabrazzi there.
Oh, hey.
You were supposed to do the
Godfather.
You were supposed to do the baker.
Godfather, please.
And then kiss me.
I beg of your pardon. Godfather, look, I'm low on cash.
You come to me doing my own impression back to me. You don't yes and me. You just yes and the same thing me. What kind of friendship? What kind of partnership is that?
Oh, God. Well, anyway, the deadline, be it as it may, I have some ideas, and I don't know if I have a show, but it is going to be like a going into the war. It's like a field pieces into camera type thing. Hi, I'm Andy Kindler. I don't get along in America. Shot at me not getting along in America. There's horrible things here. Scientologists. But then you have your own bad things. Piers Morgan.
All right.
And now, but I would like to now go and find out, explore what I don't know about England so I can discover what's wrong about America or figure out a way to fix both countries. This is more work than I've done on it in the last week.
You're talking it out. I think you're getting a lot of stuff out that you won't have to get out in the pitch, which is good.
I'll tell you what the show isn't. It's not a horror show.
You might even give them a sense of, hey, I've thought about this.
Here's me, hour 2. It's not a hybrid. I'll tell you that.
You know what else it's not?
Not?
It's not a contest.
It's not a contest. We're not raising the stakes in the show.
Right. There's nothing at stake whatsoever.
Right. There's no cliffhangers.
Right. There's no lock. The pipe is all apparent.
The who? Oh, the pipe.
Yes.
Lay the pipe. I used to be so inured. No. What's the word that says that you're attracted to it? I would be so
attracted to.
Yeah. Inured.
Drawn.
What's that?
Drawn.
I used to be so drawn to losing my place. Now, this thing about me losing my place is getting worse. And how do you know that I'm not how do you know that I haven't, to me, we're having a podcast,
right.
But in real life, how do I know I haven't gone off to the store and have not shown up for weeks? And I'm thinking my mind's fine, Josh. It's fine, but it's a little hot in here. Why is it so hot?
Are you worrying about having been wandering around for weeks? What's the question here? Here's
what I'm worried about. I'm worried about when, look, I think when it comes to whether you call it mental, what do you call what people have? Like, I'm not bipolar.
I call it overuse of marijuana products.
What are you talking about? I'm probably high. Look.
I'm not saying at the moment. I'm saying. I'm not saying this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
But why is there? So what's the excuse for right now? I think the point is what I was making was I had no point. No, the thing is, it seems to be a struggle that I'm going on with myself, where I'm hyper aware of everything that's happening, and part of the hyper aware of being everything that's happening is hyper aware that I might forget what I'm going to say, and then causing it to happen. So I do think it's like the yips. That's what I think it currently is.
Okay.
And I don't know how you overcome the yips, except they just go away. Or you have some kind of horrible dementia you should have checked out.
Well, I'm just saying that the acceleration of it coincides with the legalization of marijuana in California.
Hey, if my doctor wasn't telling me I got to smoke more, I'd cut back. Wouldn't that be terrible if I found a doctor who was more militant?
Well, there are doctors. That's how we got it.
Yeah, but none of them are like, oh, have you tried the new gummy bears? They're not that aggressive.
No,
but they know a lot. Some people know a lot about the CBGs and the CBDs.
Yeah.
But there's another kind called like a GABA. Do you know what I'm saying?
You said Gabba Gabba. It wasn't
but
promising.
That's a cartoon, right? Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah.
Now, why is that in my brain? Why does that have to be in my brain? Yo Gabba Gabba. Is it good?
I've never seen
this
it.
Is what's
I've only seen it on a program.
This is me at the home. This is me at the show business home.
It's hot. Is that good? It's hot. What are you watching? It sucks.
Josh.
Is my mother still alive so I can use her against you?
Hey, buddy, Andy. Well, I told you the internet's been down for 3 weeks. I'm not even writing to anybody. It's okay. Right. Hey, Buster Brown. Hey, Buster Brown. I'll turn you into cream cheese. I'll flip you like an omelet. I'll flip you like Jeff Altman would do.
Hashtag I'm hot.
Is it me or is everybody hot? Welcome to the Assisted Living Chronicles. This is what I'm pitching. This is the kind of thing. Andy.
Well, I think that kind of theme might actually finally get us into the stratosphere. Because this whole random talking thing we do,
I think
isn't growing at an alarming rate.
Well, what you're talking about is some kind of mold, and you don't want anything to grow at an alarming rate. You know, our show is growing at an alarming rate. That's like when The Clockwork Orange came out, and he had to pull it from the theaters himself because it was causing too much violence.
Yeah.
You don't want that kind of infestation.
True enough. You set me straight.
Well, I'll tell you something, Josh.
Yes.
I don't know how long we've done the show, but I'm on my A game.
Yeah, sure.
I'm on my meds.
You're on your stream of consciousness.
I'm on my stream of consciousness. I don't say I'm full Groucho. I never realized that in a sense, that kind of comedy is all derivative of Groucho.
Pretty much. But
wordplay.
Yeah, but his was, it was vaudevillian.
That's the connection. I think that's the Jewish connection, ultimately. No? I don't know.
No,
Why do you...
No, you're aping Groucho. I'm just saying Groucho didn't necessarily invent fast talking.
Oh, that's right. I never thought of it that way. I can't think of anybody before.
He was good, and he was smarter than most people, so he was
right.
He was fast as hell.
Can you think of another? Well, I don't know the people who I should know, like the guy with the mustache. Who's that guy?
Who? Frank Fay?
No, he's that guy who died young.
The guy with the mustache.
Yeah, the guy with the mustache, the comedy guy with the mustache who died young. People always point to him as classy comedy.
Guy with the mustache who died young. Callers, if you're on the call us with the guy with the mustache who died young.
No, he didn't. I guess he didn't die that young, maybe, but he looked old.
Ronnie Shakes.
No. He was a talk show host. Ernie
Kovacs.
That's right.
All right. Now we're playing Pyramid.
Now, was anything I was saying now in retrospect reminiscent of Ernie Kovacs?
He did have a mustache, and he did die young. So yes, but it didn't have anything to do with the Groucho-like patter.
He didn't have a Groucho-like powder.
No.
Powder?
Either.
But
Pallor, yes.
But I have to say, to be honest, and I don't know why I'm being honest, it doesn't get me anywhere.
Not so far.
I don't know enough. I don't know hardly anything about that guy.
Yeah.
I know about Phil Silvers.
Yeah.
Because I could say, oh, I saw him on a repetitive basis and he made me laugh. But Ernie Kovacs is one of those parlor games that I don't know. And I would say you don't know him either.
Oh, really? Is that how you want to play it?
Not really.
No, Ernie Kovacs was great. I've seen a bunch of stuff of his. His innovations were more about the medium of television itself and using the technology to sort of make jokes happen sometimes. And
a little Joel Hodgson in a way.
Joel is very inspired. And Joel actually worked with the widow of Ernie Kovacs, Edie Adams.
Edie Adams, who was on all those talk shows and things?
In terms of organizing his estate and his intellectual property stuff. So yeah, Joel is a big devotee of him. So that was where he was the innovator is with that kind of stuff.
Well, then they also turn stuff. I always think of him as turning stuff down, like he was like Shandling in a way, or like I don't know why I'm saying that. Where they wanted him to do something and he only wanted to do it. It's like how Columbo only wanted to do one show a month, and that was a brilliant move.
Yeah.
I think I'm mixing up anecdotes, names. I love that we're talking Hollywood.
Right.
We're talking Hollywood all night. And if you want to join what if they want to join the conversation? Write to Test Show 75.
Last week.
No, I wish we could go streaming live. Boom.
We really could.
But what would that gain us? Nothing. But would it be the illusion of...
I wouldn't have to edit.
I bet you could get Perush. Like if we started talking now about Perush and we started to tweet about him, he would get on quick. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Every man has his limits, and Perush lives in a different time zone.
He does. He's
asleep.
Yeah, it's after midnight in Perushville.
All right, so I've gone through a spiral, and I don't know where I ended up.
Well, we went from Groucho to Ernie Kovacs to Perush.
Oh, yeah, and this whole thing, my honesty tour, which is about how, and after a while, it's like, here's how I think people must think about it. So why don't you just learn about things, you stupid idiot, instead of bragging about how ignorant you are of show business? I don't want to be one of those like Craig Ferguson guys who pretends not to care.
How about we do this? I was thinking about this the other day. It would be a segment, though. It would take some time between shows on your part.
I have to work on it.
A little bit.
Okay.
Work is a strong word. My thought is we do a weekly segment called, well, for lack of a better name yet, we call it homework. And each week we assign one another. We trade off. We'll trade off. How about that?
I like that.
And
why trade off? Why can't we both have homework? Like I didn't bring in a song, for example.
Right.
That would have been good homework.
Yeah, but we call that segment par for the course. But if we like something you've never seen, like Blues Brothers, I'll assign you Blues Brothers for the week.
Oh, that's a good thing.
And then we can talk about it, or you can assign me a Dylan album.
I don't think I want to see the Blues Brothers.
We can negotiate. Or it could be a forced assignment.
Right. There could be a forced assignment. I would like. Are you a Cat Stevens fan or no?
Yes.
Okay. Because I realize I love Cat Stevens and I love Teaser and the Firecat, and I realized that I had it on as an album.
Yeah.
And I have never had it as a CD.
Okay.
And I only have Cat Stevens' greatest hits, so I try to just buy that on iTunes.
Yeah.
And now it's they don't want you, they don't care about you. They want you to do this Apple Music, and they keep saying, are you sure? You don't want to do Apple Music?
Yeah.
And then after that's all done, I can't buy it, they're saying. Somehow. I sound like my mother asking about internet things. The only difference is my mother doesn't do it on a podcast. She just does it to us
Hey, your mother has Parkinson's, man.
Hey, my mother's a quanger. She's allergic to oats. Gluten-free.
Don't talk about my mother. I wasn't talking. You're talking about my mother. She's a
right
Quaker.
there, right there. Don't even not talk about her. I'm a pretty petty person. You know, when you take all the stuff out and you put it on one side,
Yeah.
it looks bad. I mean, if you look at me on balance, you go, well, like if you looked at my Twitter today, you'd be like, this guy's the most well-adjusted man in the world.
Because you weren't on today?
No, I mean, yeah, if I do go on, it's for some bon mot.
So do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to start or should I?
You can give me, well, I haven't thought about it before.
I haven't thought about things.
Well, give me some homework.
Okay. I'll give you something short.
Was that a height joke?
No.
I know.
It's an attention span joke.
Just trying to drum up some.
Why won't you watch the Blues Brothers?
I'll watch the Blues Brothers.
Okay. That's your assignment. That's the
Okay.
homework for this week.
Blues Brothers. I don't feel like there's anything that you need to catch up on. Homework. It'd be the only homework I'd be giving. Hey, it would be something I'm into that I force on you.
Well, that's okay. You can force some music down my throat or something.
Yeah, but I was going to force
Or
Tegan-
stand up. Someone stand up.
I was going to Well, you've listened to both Hedberg, right? Studio albums.
No.
Which one you've listened to? There's one that's with a bass accompaniment, and there's another one that's called Mitch Altogether, I think.
Okay, which one should I listen to?
The one without the bass accompaniment, even though they're both great.
Okay. There's my assignment.
Oh my God! I keep. You know what? I would
Remember, we're recording Friday, so you have 5 days.
Oh, that's yeah. Hey, come on. So I can now pass off watching the Blues Brothers at home. I mean, what kind of a sick?
It's not even like I love the Blues Brothers that much, but it just seems like as a comedy person,
I want to have
it should
seen
be
it.
in your thing.
Yeah.
And a music person, because there's great music in it.
Well, that's the thing too. I didn't know, again, to go back to the admitting what I didn't know. I had no idea who Sam and Dave were.
Yeah.
I realize now.
They're soul men.
Right, but I maybe heard some Sam and Dave growing up, but not until the Blues Brothers movie was I aware of them. You probably were. And I didn't know much about Stax and stuff,
Yeah.
even though I wanted to. Why did the contest?
Steve Cropper and Duck Dunn are in the Blues Brothers.
That's right. They play in
also
the movie.
Booker T and the MGs and all the stacks.
And Sam and Dave too?
They're not. They're in. I think Sam and Dave made it into Blues Brothers 2000.
Well, who sings "They
But
Make
they
Me
sing-
Want to Shout"? Is that? It's not from there, right?
No, that's from Animal House.
Animal House,
And that was the Isley Brothers.
and that was. I'm not mixing up.
But it was Otis
people.
Day and the Knights in the movie Animal House.
Oh, that was great. Well, wait a second. Who's Morris Day and
Morris Day and the Time.
the Time?
is
Okay,
from Prince.
Yeah. Oh, so
Bill,
great.
yes.
Well, let's just
Wow.
Let's just say that we've come full once again on sports.
Pop
Spiral.
Culture Word Association with Andy Kindler.
Shoe. Enough.
Do you remember
Shoe
that?
enough.
Remember that comic strip, Shoe?
I do remember
It was
that.
a good comic strip.
I don't remember liking it, so how can you say it was good?
There's
Name-
next week's assignment.
Name-
Shoe.
Okay. Here's what you have to before you do anything else. Winky, Funky Winker Bean. Oh my God, that's a rough road. Like if I was writing Funky Winker Bean, I can't remember one thing from Funky Winker. I don't even remember the Wizard of Id.
Wizard of Id had
Probably
moments.
good, right?
Had moments.
Right.
The thing that flummoxed me throughout childhood was Gasoline Alley.
Oh, because
I was just like, is there a joke here? Am I not? It tore me apart that if there was a joke there and I wasn't getting it, but there wasn't.
Well, theoretically, what were they doing there?
They were like
People who are aficionados.
like wicked slow storytelling, basically, with cute folky sort of beats. But it was like it frustrated the shit out of me.
Who is there? One person behind it, like one crazy man or woman?
I'm sure there was, but it ran for like 70 years.
Gasoline
It started in like the 30s or the late 20s or something, and then ran forever
Oh God!
with an undescribable style.
But now there's other stuff that I hear about that I'm sure is good. Like weirder stuff, or I don't know what I'm saying. Just ignore me.
What'd you do today? It's Sunday.
Oh, what did you do today?
Yeah. You're looking at your notes.
Okay.
This is getting bad.
Well, I did say... Today, what I did was... Well, first of all, I think I know what's wrong with us.
What's that?
It's post-Kavanaugh.
Yeah, there's still a little shell shock.
And for some reason, and I don't even want to go into this that much because I don't even know what to say about it. My brother keeps trying to get me into arguments about politics.
That's a mistake. Because you can't play the mother card on him.
Yeah, my mother. I don't want to argue with him about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to argue with... He wants me to say Bill Clinton was the problem and Robert Bork got cheated, and I don't want to have the argument.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell him why I don't want to have the... If I answer the email...
Yeah.
He wins. In other words, look,
you feel that way about every email though that's sent to you.
Well, that's another problem. But
speaking of which, Alex is going. He won't answer my text. I'm in town, and he wants.
Oh, he's in. Have you seen him?
No, because he keeps wanting to get together with both of us.
Oh, let's go. Let's get something to eat with him.
Okay.
What day of the week is it? I can't even understand what's happened because of the stupid deadline of the stupid project that I won't do because I think I'm self-sabotage, or I just don't care about things enough, or I hate everything. But I want to see Alex.
Well, all of those could fall under self-sabotage. So
yeah, I know, but I think he says, so it's too easy. If I can hang it up, there's nothing I can hang anything on. It doesn't matter if I do. What's the point? Just crank it out and move it on. Nobody has made such a big deal out of nothing. Now that I see this podcast, it's a series of me coming up with the most ridiculous concerns and worries. They don't even approach an actual worry. And someone's like, "Oh, my husband fell off a ladder. He hasn't come to." There's nothing dramatic about what I've gone through. There's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing I need to be angry. There's no reason for me not to answer Alex's.
Folks, you're here on a good night, and he's having a meltdown.
Now, when is it? I thought he originally said, I'll be out there October 13th to the 16th. That's how I talk like showbiz.
Yeah.
But now he snuck out. He's doing Scott Rogowski shows.
Okay, you know more than me, and yet you won't talk to him.
I do talk to him. I answer every fifth text or email.
Okay.
Not just from him, in general. Except yours. I go, watch out.
Yeah.
I'm working on this. Okay, so I will make sure to do that and
do what?
To eat with like a breakfast or something
Yes.
What is it going to be? The kid will drive up here.
He'll come to our.
He'll
neighborhood.
open up early. This is my new thing because I am not revealing anymore.
No.
Where we are things.
People will just stand outside of Jimmy O's and go, "It's as far as I got."
Jimmy O's is pretty easy to find. If you can't find Jimmy O's, you should not get involved in any sophisticated scavenger hunts. Let me see. He talked about a short man shop.
I should look for a door built into the floorboards.
What could that short man shop have been called? Jimmy O's. He says it at $50 million.
But is it O or AU? I don't know.
I think he said it was AU. Okay, now we're here. If we draw a radius around Jimmy O's,
how far could a short Jew walk?
You'll see this short Jew everywhere. And I'm obsessed by this. In the Dark is a great podcast, and I really believe now, Josh, that everybody who's in jail, there are so many people, they got nothing on them. They railroaded them. Like if you're black, there's a 50% chance, historically, I think, that you could have been just arrested for being arrested.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to trust your statistics, but I understand.
I wouldn't
your
even
point.
trust I don't even know what I'm saying. But the point is that when they're starting to uncover some of these things, like somewhere in your mind, you feel like there's some kind of Perry Mason, reality to these cases.
Yeah.
Although was his thing getting people off? I forgot what he did.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it wasn't Hamilton.
Everyone was innocent.
Hamilton. What's his face? The
Hamilton
prosecutor?
Burger. Hamburger. Yeah. So, all right. Just wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you got.
What did I do?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No, the unfair case is, so there's one thing that I'm listening to called In the Dark Season 2. Both seasons are great, but the second season is about a guy who's on death row. They tell you right away what the deal is. He's on death row, and you can't believe once you get into the case, he literally has no connection to the case at all.
Yeah.
Except that he's black, and they wanted to pin it on him.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. And just see how amazing it is. They've tried him. They've overturned his verdict 5 times. They've tried him 6 times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So it's unbelievable. And I'm just telling
And
you.
kept putting him back on death row.
And kept putting him back on because the district attorney he won't stop trying him. So he's gotten off every time. Not off, just like they know if they find out, hey, you can't do that. Pay this guy $4 to say the other guy killed someone. But they don't do anything about him onward. They go, oh, that's messed up. Well, how can they not at one point go, hey, this guy's got to go? Because I think it's worse. It's like it's not a good situation in certain parts of the country.
Wow, you really are into this podcast.
I really am, and I'm certainly bringing a lot to the table. Yeah. Well,
so what's in the cup this week?
I have. It's stevia. It's boiling root beer. Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take. I want to have a boiling root beer. That's what I really want to have.
Yeah.
It's a game. It's a con game. What is it? 3-card Monte I'm playing with myself.
Okay.
If I was left to my own drudges, I'd have 7 to 12 Coca-Colas a day.
All right.
Right? I don't have that.
Okay.
But I play a little game. How can I keep the sugar content down in this glass of soda?
Okay.
I'm
so
drinking.
what is the all right?
So if it's just a boiling root beer, you lose.
Quite all right. Okay.
So if it's a little boiling root beer, but then it's like one of those. Remember those time when you saw me with that stevia drink with all the guarana? You were scared because I had one of those double caffeine stevia drinks. Okay, so there's a little bit of that in there.
Okay.
It's not very good. And
Zevia is an energy supplement?
No, Zevia.
Or
stevia.
Stevia is a sweetener.
Is a sweetener that's not bad for you.
Okay, so you're sweetening root beer.
No, because I'm sweetening. No, because I don't have much root beer in there. I don't put all the root beer in there.
Okay.
I put a little drabble of the boiling.
So bottom of the glass, you start with a little
Boiling.
a splash of root beer.
Yeah.
A sousance of root beer.
That's right.
Okay.
And my day is full of so many delightful journeys. I don't know what might happen. It could be one of those Pellegrino. Do you know those Pellegrino Arancchiata drinks?
I don't.
Yes, you do. There's like a Limona. One's called Limona. And when they're like orange drinks.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. That's another one that I play with because they're 150 calories if you drink the whole thing.
Okay.
I could start with that too, a little splash.
Okay.
But the question is, at the end of the day.
No, I need to know what the rest of the drink is.
Okay, so then.
Splash of root beer. Then what goes on top of it?
Then this stevia drink went on this particular one.
Oh, it's a stevia drink?
Yeah, it's that stevia. It says it's called Zevia.
Okay.
And it's like a soda. It doesn't taste that good on its own.
What's its flavor?
Cola.
Okay. So it's a sugar-free cola?
I just realized
you're putting a sugar-free cola on top of root beer.
Yeah, I think that might have been my first mistake I'm realizing now.
Oh, God.
But the root beer, I think I'm thinking of a root beer as if it's a Coke.
Yeah.
So that's a mistake.
Yeah, it's a different beverage.
That's an easy
it's
fix.
Not radically different, but it's kind of different.
And sometimes I put Honest Tea. Do you like Honest Tea?
It's such a lonely word.
It's a brand of drink.
Yes.
Where they're just like 100. They call it. They go just a tad sweet.
Yeah.
It's 100 calories.
I'm drinking their green tea.
Right, but you probably don't drink of it much now because it's sweetened.
No.
So I tried that one too, and I experiment.
Okay.
It's all in my book.
So, but tonight it's root beer topped with sugar-free cola.
It's a bad. It tastes
and a bunch of
medicine-y.
CBD as well.
There is no. Is that what you're saying? Is that
No,
what
I'm just
you're
wondering.
suspecting? Well, no.
Last week, you know.
Last week I had.
You shared your mixology with us last week.
Yeah, because
so
last week I
trying-
had a bunch of sativa and I had CBD.
Sativa, huh? You lied last week. You just said CBD.
Well, first of all, let the record show. If you go back to any particular
Liar!
If you go back anywhere with me, I'm not saying I'm Trumpian, but there's a lot of lies, a lot of holes,
A lot of lies.
a lot of holes in my stories.
Your mother's not even a Quaker.
Nah, see? She hates Quakers. My mother hurt
She violently hates Quakers.
my mother punched a Quaker.
Wow.
And that's how I learned about them. It doesn't sound like my mother.
Doesn't. Well, from what you say, it actually kind of does. But
You know, why are you all over me and what I've written down when I don't see one thing, one note?
I didn't write shit down.
And you didn't, and
I'm freestyling. You can't get through what's in your glass in a half hour, so I
you're
feel
putting
pretty
me on-
safe.
You're like a Phil Donahue for the wrong subjects. What's in that drink, Andy? Tell us. Hello, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello.
Tell us your beverage.
Larry, I drink. Well, you know,
Hi, Larry.
yeah.
I put an Orange Crush on top of a Sprite, and then I threw in some cherry Coke. It's like a fruit basket in a glass.
Because Larry King will always say, "Thank me now. Thank me later." He used to have tips like that. Try lemonade with your.
If there's one beverage I love, it's Country Time Lemonade.
What are those commercials he's doing? I don't even understand what he's doing.
I don't know either.
And he's on Russian TV.
It's always just like Larry King playing Larry King in some weird disguised version of his set, you know.
I know, and he's just, if it's not him asking questions for prostates or whatever it is, I mean, at some point, how could he be alive at this point, Josh? Just answer me that.
How could he want to work that much?
How could he want to work that much at this
Is
point?
it all the ex-wives? Is it
has to be.
8 ex-wives have just cleaned him out continuously?
How could they not at this point? Where is he? In other words, like, why would you do a Russian television show?
Right. In your 80s.
What if he had got? What if Larry King got imprisoned in Russia all of a sudden? And then, wouldn't he feel
Hello.
bad? Hello?
Hello, Dad. I'm in jail.
Hello, Dad? I'm in Vyacheslav, Russia. Hello. Oh, boy.
I'm in a gulag.
Hey, you know, I once pitched the idea for a Jew-log.
Yeah.
It's pretty. But actually, many of the gulags basically were. There were a lot of Jews rounded up by.
That's what you're pitching to BBC, isn't it? The Andy Kindler's Jew-log.
Don't get me. You know, when it gets down to the deadline, everything sounds good.
Yeah.
I just wrote down Jew-log, and I don't know what it means. It's like a Yule log.
Like a travel log.
Yes. Why do we? You know what's nice about the show tonight?
Nothing.
Going nowhere. You'd think there'd be like a little life, like you would take the ball, I would take the ball. The dogs could do something cute.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do one of my riffs on things people can't see?
No.
Well, don't you think I've grown a lot in the podcast process over the year and a half? Or
That's
whatever?
not for me to answer. That's for you to say, really.
I think I don't know, Josh. Well, what's the point of this discussion? It's more talking about me, where you're either going to say, "Oh, you're doing very well,"
Yeah.
or you're going to say, "You haven't heard a word I've said since Shavuos."
I wish I could conjure up Shavuos.
So, what's going on? You're going away.
I actually am on that's a Jewish generational thing. Is that S or T at the end of the word? Because I learned it as Shavuot.
Shavuot.
But older Jews read that Hebrew letter as an S sound.
Yes. Yeah. It depends on the. It's not to do with the vowels.
No, it's a consonant, but I don't know if it's because in Yiddish that's what it is, and they say it that way. Or...
Well, let me get my. You did a Twitter version of the zzz.
I did.
It was very good.
I burned you in print.
I couldn't come off the carpet after that one. This UFC situation, first of all, it took me to get into therapy to realize that my fear of fighting in an octagon is I should be scared of it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
Are there any shapes that you feel more confident in?
A rhombus. I would fight in a rhombus. I would fight in a parallelogram. First of all, I don't know why it is octagon. Why isn't it just a round thing?
It's to distinguish it from boxing.
Oh. Doesn't this look scary to you? And can you watch it?
I never do watch it. It does look scary to me when I see it. And it looks...
I had to watch the thing they were all watching, though, which was the Conor McGregor
Yeah.
lost to this other guy, and then the guy jumped out of the ring and started... I mean, it looked like a real hurt was happening.
You know what it was, Andy?
Was that Chinatown?
It was a melee.
It wasn't a fracas?
No, it was a melee.
But I can't even believe... I mean, it's getting out of control now when you have a sport. I mean... I guess it starts with a sport that says you can do anything you want within the nothing's off bounds, right? What's out of bounds in Ultimate Fighting?
I think actual weapons.
Okay, so can you pull someone's tongue out of their mouth?
I think so. It's a tough hold. It's a slippery grab.
I'm not good at any of those type of things, even after all the Taekwondo, but I don't like the grappling. Why do we have to grapple at this point? Is that how you want to see yourself? Grappling on a floor, and then you got to go like that?
I prefer putting my hand up in front of the bridge of my nose and having someone poke at my eyes.
You like comedy fighting.
That's right.
Oh, I mean, but so isn't this a big thing that happened, or is it just a big thing that happened within the UFC world?
I think, yeah, I mean, it's only a big thing within the UFC world because who the fuck gives a shit in terms of real world ramifications.
You're right about that, but I've never seen anybody come up. The guy who just fought, another guy comes out of the ring and starts beating him up, another guy.
Yeah.
He just had a fight, that guy, the Conor McGregor.
Right.
I mean, at some point, isn't it ridiculous? I mean, leave the guy must be exhausted.
What's sad is that they turned their ultimate fight into a penultimate fight.
They have to fight again now, right?
No, I just mean there was one after.
Oh, yeah. And that was the one that was... It seemed the other thing was... Sorry.
But yes, they'll probably fight again because there's a lot of money.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The thing is like the sport allows you to tap out.
Yes.
So when the guy taps out, I can't imagine anything... Well, the whole thing's humiliating. I can't imagine... I can't isolate one part of it.
Right.
Because I really have a part of me where, like, what if you were in a movie, or what if all of a sudden you had to be inside of that octagon?
I'm wearing tap shoes.
I just don't know.
See, that's not something I worry about. I don't watch it and go, what if I ended up in there?
I know.
There's so many
things that would have to happen.
So many things would have to line up.
First of all, you have to be standing near one of those events.
Yeah.
And you have to have gloves on. They do have gloves, I know. And they're barefooted.
I guess so.
See, I don't even like that. If I'm going to kick somebody, can I be in a shoe?
I don't think this is the sport for you.
No. Who is it for?
Why?
Oh,
how did you become a black belt? You were so afraid of violence. How did you become a black belt
and
in anything?
Slowly and painstakingly. It took me 15 years, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was just the default belts. What the hell?
Oh my God, unbelievable! I knew that at some point.
It's like the 12-year-old in third grade who they're just going, all right, you can be in fourth grade.
That is a point you're making, though. That it's very true that when you take it as a kid, you kind of have to take it again when you become an adult.
Yeah.
Because you could learn it very well, but it's not quite the same.
Because people try against you as an adult.
No, but they're little dynamos sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got here. But,
You're the one who got us into the octagon.
That's true. But I didn't use it as a harmful thing against you. Oh, no, but after the guy tapped out, after McGregor tapped out,
yes,
the other guy started yelling at him. Like, to me,
Because they had a huge,
They had a big
a
thing.
huge backstory.
And there was like a racist thing or something like that, or
There was a racist thing against Muslims, and,
See, I
and
don't like
McGregor had literally threw a dolly through the window of a tour bus at the other guy.
What religious symbol is that? He did throw something in. I don't understand. I see this thing yesterday where he's throwing something. They're throwing something into a bus.
Yeah,
But that happened 6 months ago with some other. Is it the same guy?
yeah,
It is the same guy.
yes. The guy was on the bus.
Who? Khabib?
Yeah,
I can't believe I said
you pulled
Khabib.
Khabib out of your ass.
Is that his name?
It's an ass Khabib.
I don't like. Look, if he's making fun of Muslims, then he deserves everything he got. But why am I? But then I'm not going to get on his side. And so therefore he should.
You wouldn't get on McGregor's side regardless because he's a giant asshole.
Yeah.
Horrible dude, seemingly.
And is this something that's happened? Okay. And is it the same
They
guy?
both don't seem like good dudes.
Yeah, but Khabib is
This
just.
is why I'm not drawn into the world of UFC.
I have to say, the only thing I saw the guy do that reminded me of old movies was when he took his mouthpiece and he threw it.
Yeah.
That's like throwing the gun at the Godzilla. What is that going to do?
That's like a Kindler move.
I don't think, like you think I would probably do well in that sport. I don't think I'd make it past the weigh-in.
I think you would wear tap shoes. I really do.
I boxed before, just like like with a friend in college, and
Yeah.
it was horrible. Him just defending me was horrible.
I'm sure you brought some Don Knotts like precision to the proceedings.
I don't make everything into a bit.
Not intentionally always.
No, but
You boxing, you on a pogo stick, something's happening.
pogo stick. The pogo stick, I feel I will never live down. In the
You
way.
shouldn't live it down. It's a great moment in television history.
What if I had died? Would it be as funny?
That would be
probably
a
not
less
as funny.
good. Yeah,
they
'cause
probably wouldn't have even
it wouldn't
done the
have made
piece.
television history because it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been on television. Yeah.
That's right. They wouldn't do a comedy piece after I died.
But it would have leaked.
No, only things that people care about leaks. No one's like, hey, did you hear about that field piece that Andy Kindler? I did one field piece didn't get on the air, which was we did a thing about the census.
Yeah,
Do you remember them taking the census?
I do.
I have a very little memory of it.
Did you make the come to your senses joke?
No, that's what it was.
That's why I didn't make the air.
We did. We did. We were in the Time Warner Mall and interviewing people all day.
Yeah. And it didn't result in TV? Good TV?
No, because what happened was
So what are you pitching tomorrow?
no. But what happened was is that they stopped doing. They had some changes in Letterman towards the end. The head writers changed, and I don't even remember all the stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually lost field pieces because they transitioned out of what they were doing with me. But who cares? I'd done so. I mean, did I think it was going to last forever? The show ended soon after that.
Yeah.
What am I complaining about? Everything. If I'm given the chance, I will complain about everything.
So who's the one who wronged you?
Not on Letterman. Who wronged me on Letterman?
Yeah.
Oh no! It just became that. It just became the two head writers left, and then they had other people come in. So, like, if you have a new head writer come in, then they're like, I don't know, what's this bit that you were doing?
Right.
And I can't think of myself as a staple, as even though I try to negotiate that way. I'm not coming in, Dave, unless you give me a contract. No. Yeah. So but then the show was kind of over not too long after that.
Yeah.
And I still can't believe it's over.
I mean, you did your last stand-up set not that long before the end.
Right. About, you know how you can wear out your welcome? I kind of did wear out my welcome in a way because I prepared one more set. And they said you can't do it. I mean, they weren't mad at me, but I was
Right.
worried that I was like, I have one more. I'm sorry, Eddie.
You did your last.
She didn't say it with that. I mean, that's the way you would do it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But don't you remember towards the end, like Eddie, the guy who did the comics, he left, and the
Right.
cue card person left, and they had a big fight.
Vaguely. Yeah.
I remember these things because as my what else am I
Where's
going
your
to worry
TV
about?
family?
Can you make everything that I said tonight not sound like self-absorbed,
Rambling?
Rambling.
I don't know. I've been wondering that the whole time.
Well, the other way to do it is it rolling?
What the hell?
What the hell?
I'm never going to live that down.
First of all, You lost it. That I'm not going to even tell people that you tried to strangle me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. Why is strangling me going to help get an extra podcast out of?
I was trying to enhance your masturbation.
I hope I die during one of these horrible bits I've been doing recently. I really do. Because it's the only way I'll learn.
Well, if it's any solace, the odds, just the pure odds, percentages is that you will die during a horrible bit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be sleep. You don't go for the sleep thing? I want to die in my sleep.
Yeah.
I don't want to go by Satan. I don't want to go uneasy. Just let me go naturally. And when I'm gone and when I'm dead, there'll be one more child. I don't know if I'm doing David Clayton Thomas or Laura Nero. Either way, it's bad. And all I'm thinking about is will we have to pay for it? What does Showbiz say about these various... he doesn't say anything about harp.
Well, he says it'll probably keep us off of
Spotify. Spotify.
Spread that online music service.
That's what his act, in a way, does right itself.
It does.
Because it works in anything. I'd like some sp. I'd like some sp. I'd like some sp. Give me some penne. It was a simple joke, and I still couldn't execute it.
I would go spaghetti.
Some penny would be nice.
I like ravioli.
Well,
where are we?
We
How long
both
have we done?
both went into the unison sigh, which usually means it's time for a break.
I know, but we haven't done that. But I came earlier tonight than I normally.
You did. It was delightful.
It was unbelievable.
It was.
It was almost like, wow, what can't this guy do? And it still was at 9:05. I still don't understand why. When I know I'm going to be on time, like today, I still had to march around like a caged animal.
Yeah.
At the house, a couple more times to make sure that it wouldn't be at 9. I don't get it.
I don't either.
It's boring. If that's any help.
It is a help. Let's take a break.
All right.
This week, this was I found this week. This was is going to be short because it's a jingle that I wrote for my mom's company.
I think you've told me about this before.
Yeah, my mom was the advertising director for a giant floral and gift and garden center company called Bachmann's in Minneapolis.
What does that mean, floral?
Like flower
like
shop.
order
like
flowers.
florists, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But like a huge operation with a bunch of stores and a bunch of, various divisions. And so I was on the phone with her one day and she was talking about how they were about to start up a new jingle. And I was like, oh, let me do it. And
was she resistant to it?
She wasn't resistant, but she, it had to go through, to go through the process. So I had to literally do a demo and then go in and pitch it to the board at Bachmann's when I was in town. And they bought it. And so Tommy and I did it. Thomas Chan and I did it. I wrote it. He played the music. I sang. The other thing you need to know about Bachmann's is that their trademark for 100 years, and it's that old a company, was these purple boxes. Everything, their color was purple.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that.
Identifying color to them.
They're not the pretzel company.
They're not.
Is it spelled the same way?
No.
Okay.
What pretzel company?
Bachmann.
Don't know.
It's not a good story again. Or Bachmann Turner.
I mean, I thought I established that it was a floral company and not
I know.
pretzel
In my
company.
mind, I got this thing maybe they were big in the old days, pretzels, and then they got into the floor. But no.
Yeah.
Floral.
So this is there's two spots, one for the floral and gift side, one for the garden center side. So I'll play them for you.
It's great.
It's called it's just a jingle. You can
I can figure it out.
Doesn't really Bachmann's Jingle 30-second is the title.
Yeah,
So-
I like that name.
The proof's in the purple. You can see it in their face. The proof's in the purple. A purple package from their favorite place. It's 100 years of knowing what you want a gift to say. Bachmann's way.
I love it.
Thank you.
Who's singing?
Me.
Oh my God! It's like you could never. I never would think of you as a jingle singer.
I know.
And that would go to the for 100 years. I guess I can't do it. Now, which one we're hearing now?
I'll play the. That was the gift. This is the garden center or the garden season version of the same jingle.
The proof's in the purple. Yeah, the garden season's here. The proof's in the purple. A world of colors waiting to appear. From your patio and garden to the lawn where your kids play. The proof's in the purple. Will brighten up your day. The proof's in the purple. That's the Bachmann's way.
I wish I could get back the time of you acting out the line. What were you doing there?
From your patio and garden to the lawn where your kids play. Come on.
I thought it was you were saying
I
something
just
like
fucking evoked America in fucking 3 seconds, baby.
All right, so from the what? From the what?
From your patio and garden to the lawn where your kids play.
My God.
Come on.
Well, you were looking at me as if I thought you. Here's what I thought it said.
I was gleefully selling my soul. That's what I was doing.
Well, I was. It sounded like you said
my mom.
Daddy-o. Daddy-o. That's what I got confused.
it's-
Hey, Dad, from your daddy-o to the patio, we've got the things for you.
Good.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Well, I love the color purple,
Yeah.
but if I was at that pitch meeting, or when you pitched, I'd say, I love it. I love it, Josh. But I don't know what you mean by the proof is in the purple.
Well, it was based on the notion that they wanted to push the purple thing at that
so
time.
that was their
So
note.
yeah, that's how I came up with the hook.
Why do they like the purple? You know, I kind of like it. I can see it.
Yeah.
But is it because there's a branding thing?
It's a branding thing, and because of the market where the purple thing is ingrained in the in the local,
Like a pretty box?
Like they had purple trucks that you'd see
Okay.
around town. You know.
Got it. Now I got it. Totally. And it's the pretzel people, right?
No, it's not.
What?
Pretzel people. What the fuck?
Now, did you do that?
Why don't you understand? What?
Did you do it for free? No, you can't do it for free.
No, they paid us. They paid us market rate even
Wow. Why didn't you pursue that further?
because my mom didn't work for other companies.
Did she? Is that the only is that like one job she had for a long time?
Yeah, for like 25 years. Her last 25 years.
That was like a
or whatever.
career.
Yeah, she had yeah.
And are they gone?
No, they're still there. My mom's gone.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty
Have
sure.
you checked the den? Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. People who use humor to deflect.
And it was weird because actually after my mom died, they dumped the purple stuff for a couple of years.
Why?
I don't know. But then last time I was back in town, purple was back.
Wow.
You don't
Are
fuck, you don't fuck with 100 years.
You
just don't do it.
Now, would you say that the Bachmanns are nice people?
Yes.
And
who both loved and treated my mother very well.
and they're Jews.
They are not Jews. They are the farthest thing from Jews.
What do you mean? The farthest thing from Jews are Nazis?
They're German Lutherans.
Oh my God, that is quite a big distance.
Yeah.
Though that just shows you that, for some reason, me thinking Bach, or the name
It's
Bach
the
is
man
Jewish.
that makes you think. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Jew. It's I'm running away
No,
from
my mother
past.
was the company Jew for years.
On the company Jew. Wait, now what does that
Here
mean?
comes the lady who talks about feelings. Run!
But your mom didn't sound Jewish, did she?
No, I mean she could.
She could pour it on?
Yeah, but it was all. We were Midwestern, so
Was it harder? Was it hard? Like, I didn't feel. I used to do a joke about how hard it was growing up as a Reformed Jew in Queens. All my friends were conservative.
all right.
The joke being that it wasn't hard.
Oh,
Was it? Look, I don't. Sometimes I have to explain jokes to you recently with your new thing. But did you feel like people, like I didn't feel mocked in Queens? Did you feel that was there a lot of prejudice in Minnesota?
there's a lot of. I mean, there was. I didn't feel a ton of it because I grew up in a particularly Jewish suburb, so there was sort of a safety in numbers sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah, you definitely growing up a Jew in Minnesota, you do feel like another. You feel like other for sure.
Did they deal with that in a serious. Is it a serious man?
It is a serious man.
Yeah.
Not a ton. It's not a big anti-Semitism isn't a big part of the movie. I don't remember there being that there was sort of self-hating Jew stuff in it, but there wasn't.
But I mean, me growing up Jewish in Queens there were more Jews were more ubiquitous,
right,
than in Minnesota, right? No matter how you slice it.
No matter how you slice it, yeah.
So, and then everyone's it's not all I can think of is in stereotypes. Everyone's reserved. They want to dislike the Jews, but they want to be polite, kind of thing. Did you get any of that?
A little bit. And there was some outward anti-Semitism in the air, but I never felt like it was pointed at me.
Pointed at you, yeah.
But there was people I know had pennies rolled at them and stuff, that kind of thing.
Oh, I never had that happen to me.
Yeah, so, you definitely, I had a friend who I met when he was probably 23 or 24 who's like, you're the first Jew I've ever met.
That's pretty crazy.
And he grew up in St. Paul.
Yeah.
So it probably wasn't true, but it was the first Jew he knew he was meeting,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
So it was, it definitely isn't Queens.
It's definitely not Queens. But there's got to be a lot of Jews in Minnesota, all told now.
No.
Healthy number.
No, not that many.
Oh, well.
Thousands, certainly.
Oh, God. But Lutherans, there's a million Lutherans.
Oh, God, there's a million Lutherans.
And Swedish people with Swedish roots.
Right.
Severe Swedish roots.
Yes.
You probably had glug. A friend of yours maybe was Swedish and had glug.
I don't recall glug being a part of the equation.
Sorry.
Did you make up glug?
No. It's just I dated a Swedish lady, Patty Marshall.
Swedish lady,
Jewish lady, and glug is a drink, like a punch drink. They like at Christmas time.
Someone slipped some glug in my flugenoid.
Now I see why Jerry Lewis pulled out that voice a lot. It works. If you got nothing else,
exactly.
You could say for Flavin Fluvin. I like those songs. I can't say I would choose to. I would buy an album of those songs.
Of which songs?
The Bachmann Turner Overdrive songs.
Yeah.
But they were. I'm saying.
Oh, we're going back to the jingles.
I don't think we did. We ever do a wrap up on the jingle?
No, but we moved along.
Yeah, and so I don't have to go back and go. I wouldn't. I'm not saying I would hire that band because I don't normally have a category called favorite jingles.
Right. Okay. Well, I didn't need that.
It's not as bad as Chris Bliss, though, is it? Is Chris Bliss feedback?
No, it's not.
Not even close.
Speaking of Chris Bliss, I'm performing with him this week at Acme Comedy Club.
All right. I love when it all works out.
Isn't that a nice full tight
Starting
circle?
tomorrow?
Starting, if you're listening to this on the release day, starting tomorrow.
Why wouldn't they listen to it? What is the matter with us? It was the only time that you could have acted current.
Well, Perush is listening to this sometime in mid-2020. So.
And he listens with a microscope for some reason.
He does.
Isn't that odd?
Yes.
I'm just being quiet.
You are.
It seems obnoxious what I'm doing, but it's more charming.
Charmnoxious? Can we go?
Do you get hangry?
I don't.
Good. Because I think it's a phony.
I get angry at people who say angry when they're hungry.
Hangry.
Yes.
You don't say, and I hope to God you don't say ginormous.
No, I've never needed to.
It's like a guesstimate. It's so obnoxious. I like to make a guesstimate.
Yeah.
An estimate is a guesstimate. Don't get you started on it, right?
You want to start?
Yeah.
All right.
I thought after all these years, or is your thing now I have to every week do 3 hours? Is that your, what do you think? I have to do a 3-hour session every week.
Yeah, I really am going to want to fucking keep you long. That's what's on my mind. Keep him here. Don't let him leave.
Is there ever a time when you envision me and you with hate because you've just been listening to my stupid voice too long?
Yeah.
You can be honest.
Yeah.
Why do you have to say that? Okay, because I told you I wasn't going to buy your jingle album.
Yes. Right now, that.
If the
Soon it'll be something else.
I'm not responsible for where you are, man. I don't know what that means.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi Yamamoto. Hey, Yamamoto.
Josh, is your classic first thought theater an ode to Del Close's third thought improv theory? Or so do you generally follow such a rule?
Now you got to be depressed. You stole his bit.
No, I didn't.
What was his thing? What was his third? His is probably a legit thing where he's trying to tell people, is that the second thought? Or was that the third thought? I'm sorry, Del.
I bet it went down that way, yeah.
I'm sorry. I told you
You're a
third.
genius, Del.
So let me see. How'd you come up with this one, Del? Well, some people go with the second thought, and I thought threes.
Right.
I don't want to put him down.
So it's kind of that. I mean, it's kind of, it's sort of meant to use comedy theory against the user.
Yes. But Del Close, he wasn't doing it sarcastically. He really was saying,
Right.
like he would have a Melvin or whatever the hell those things were, or Harold.
Yes.
Not a Melvin.
A Harold.
A Harold. I don't even, and it's like, and I don't like when any people, you catch them in a circle before a show.
Yeah.
They could be killers. It could be a murdering society. But they're all like in a thing and they're moving energy around.
It always the Second City style of improv where they take suggestions from the audience
Right.
and then go backstage and talk about them.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, it really bothers
Okay, so
me.
what did that guy say? Fireman? Okay, so why don't we have what could you say from the explosion of from just coming up with words? That guy came up with a pretty good adverb, I thought.
Right.
I don't know what an adverb is.
It's called improv, Andy. I mean,
Yes, and I like it.
And yeah, I mean, so first thought theater, the real reason it came into play was I needed a way to say, just because that joke, is a joke, doesn't mean it's
Right, exactly.
It's the joke we're looking for.
Yes, but first joke theater is a type of thing I would defend.
First thought theater.
Why can't I get anything right? It's something that I would defend as a, hey, that's the one I wanted to do. Why should I come up with more than my first thoughts?
Well, because I have the pen. That's why.
Right.
I mean, that's, it's really a tool for me to turn down a joke and give someone a reason why I'm turning down what they think is a perfectly good joke. And you go, it's a little obvious.
They say the pen is mightier than the sword, but I tried to use it to stab somebody during a bar fight. And
Andy, come on, let's get up. Let's walk around.
what?
Come on.
What? Hello, mommy. Do you think hello, mommy is still a good, like pretending, mommy, daddy? That's not as funny as it used to be. Is this guy as funny? Do. I think he is. Do.
Jim Meehan says,
Hi, Jim Meehan.
I always wait to hit the like button on a podcast until I know it's safe. Is it safe now? It's pretty safe. I think this is episode 75, Jim. Come on. Pull the trigger.
Why would he has to like it now?
I think he means like rate it on iTunes kind of thing.
Oh yeah, please do. And when you say, can you say this? I thought Andy was, okay, you ready? I thought Andy was funny with his previous projects. But on this podcast, hoo boy, haba. This is a good stuff. Thank you, Mr. TV. Wow. Thank you, Mr. TV.
Tweet Bahara says, Josh and Andy, don't despair. The bastards want us to despair.
Thank you. That I actually did need to hear that after all this horrible Kavanaugh news.
Well, you know what I say. Nothing is more depressing than a pep talk, so.
His pep talk worked.
Well, good. Epidemic,
Yes, Chad.
yes, says, is it true that Jimmy Dore is Bizarro Dennis Miller? He kind of is.
Oh, Jimmy Dore has gotten into a thing. I haven't been following it, but he's gotten into a thing, right? Is his politics a little goofy?
He's a left-wing extremist. I think it's safe to say.
A left-wing extremist, which is like a right, like in other words, he's a deep state guy, kind of.
He's a little, but he's like, fuck the Democrats too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a big fight with him on the other podcast before the election because he was for Dr. Jill, what's her face,
Dr. Jill Stein, which was a nice choice, good choice.
and I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to fuck around here because I grew up as a Jew thinking,
Yeah.
never again.
Never again.
We were taught that.
Right.
And this is way too close to that feeling for me to fuck around with the second party candidate when this guy has to be defeated.
And you were, of course, right.
I was.
And does he's very, I don't know. I just don't know why he got that way. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it's because everything is shit. I understand that aspect of it. But
Right. See, but these words these people use, like like people, like when I say this online, they go, well, the words mean something. Yeah, they can mean something, but mostly now they're used. No one says neoliberal without using it as a slam.
Right.
Right. So I'm not even saying that it should not be a slam. I'm just saying it's like, people can't wait to get the label that they can then. That's what it's like. Where I couldn't deal with people with Obama. They're like, "Oh, so you like the drones and the deporter in chief and the." There's no way to talk to people who are that patterned either way.
All right. There's really no way to talk to anybody, especially on Twitter
or anywhere, but especially on Twitter.
Yeah.
Good point. Once again, sir, you have. Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm confusing coughs with sneezes.
Seth Dick III says, I heard Foster Brooks went to Victoria's Secret for his wife. What did he buy there?
Unbelievable.
Well, Seth Dick, Seth Dick, I went to Victoria's Secret, and I got my wife a push-up contraption.
What was the first word you were saying? A pussy? A push up?
A bustier.
A bustier. Why did I say pussy?
I don't know,
because
you're gross.
It's almost like I want to end my life now. So I'm like saying things to force the non-FCC. We're a pirate radio over here, Josh.
Yeah.
You can't tell us what to do.
Wouldn't try. We don't care.
Is that our voice and we don't care?
That was the voice of the authority going, I don't give a shit what you do.
We don't care.
Greg Kelly, what was the last sporting event that you attended in person?
Oh, man, I can't remember anyone.
It would be a Clippers game for me. Probably 3 years ago.
I think it was a baseball game for me, but it's sad.
Wasn't your bachelor party a baseball game?
Yeah, that's 40 years ago.
No, I know. I'm just trying. It triggered a memory. Andy, baseball game, boom.
Also, a great documentary is that documentary about the guy who was innocent by virtue of the fact that he was in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, that was good. I saw
Oh, so good. Ugh, that's not a good
it. It wasn't Seinfeld. It was Curb Your Enthusiasm. But
right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I hope no one's confused, but it was Curb Your Enthusiasm. And it was Larry David behind him or something. I don't remember. He's walking behind Larry David or something.
Yes, that's how they got it, because it was in the coverage.
Yeah, and that's another one of these things, like, this happens every day. They go, someone got killed. That guy looks like he could be, let's frame it on him. You don't know what it's like out there, Josh.
Well, the truth is that no one who looks like you murders that much. So you're pretty safe.
I'm safe, but I'm not making good use of my freedom.
Cynthia C. says, Andy and Josh, have politics entered your routines? And if so, do you basically improvise your take as the craziness is nonstop on so many levels? Do you even try to make jokes out of it? It's also horrific.
That's a tough question, because I have some material about Trump, but then it does get to be like, well, now it's like old. People don't remember about the wall.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like you can't not bring it up and you can't bring it up. Either way is no fun.
I kind of bring up the fact that I'm not bringing it up, because I do talk about divisiveness, but I don't talk about Trump, because it's there's no win, you know.
Well,
if you either get complete agreement and applause, which isn't fun.
That's not good.
You know, or you get people who are just pissed off going, why did I didn't want to talk about politics. But I can talk about I talk about fringe issues to politics. You know, I talk about point of view things, but I don't ever bring up actual Washington, D.C. politics for the most part.
I have always brought up current events, but just, if I look back at my quote, if I look back at my quote act, it's never leads with politics. But I don't know.
I thought you did more like during the Bush era. You did more politics stuff. It seems like.
Well, the thing is, this era is so short right now.
Right.
This era of him, and I don't even like admit that it's going to happen. So I keep thinking, well, how much longer could it go on?
Right.
You know.
But in general, I mean, because I live in it on Twitter, I kind of like the escape on stage, honestly, too.
That's good.
I kind of like this feeling of in here for this hour or this 10 minutes or this whatever. That's not happening. You know, I kind of like that feeling as much right now because there aren't other times where I can really escape that much, you know.
Except the only thing is, I don't expect there to be Trump people in a crowd in a comedy club that I would perform at. I mean, that's how.
But that's just not true, though. I mean, not here in L.A.
Right. I know there are people
not at
out
a comedy
there.
festival, probably. But when I'm going to be in Minneapolis this week, there's going to be Trump supporters in the audience for sure. It happens every time.
Well, I guess so, but like I guess I don't care about them.
But I don't want to flush them out.
Right.
You know, because then I start feeling like, why do I want to fucking entertain these people?
Right,
You know?
exactly.
So it doesn't, you know.
I want to be able to talk about him as Hitler if I want to be able to talk about him as Hitler. And if people don't like it, I don't care about that so much. But the more important thing is it just is so frustrating that you do want to get away from it.
Yeah. But I don't think, I don't have a policy. Like, I'm not talking about it. But
Right.
But I don't find that there's anything I feel like me saying it is going to move the needle at all, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say that is going to make people go, you're right, he's horrible. So, you can't move the ball.
But I don't think it's like I'm kind of so far away from anything where I'd be like, I'm not going on a Tom Sobel run or, mostly I just go to certain cities, and most of the cities I think are usually pretty progressive. Like if it's Austin, I wouldn't think of Minneapolis as having Trump people in there. I don't know. I'm just living in a dream world.
You are.
Yeah. But it's like, it's depressing because it's not like they like Reagan. They like a Nazi.
Right.
And so it's ultimately, it's not as much fun.
No. Because people go, right.
Yeah. So you don't like the Jews then? Correct. So you don't like black people or the Jews, and you don't think Muslims should be allowed to enter the country? Okay, well, let's not talk about it. I won't do my chunk about how slavery is bad. Andy, don't talk about slavery tonight. It's a pro-slavery crowd.
Derek Faraci wants to know, what's your favorite toy when you were a kid?
I went through phases, so I loved like this thing called color forms.
Sure.
Then I didn't. So there's nothing I loved for years and years and years.
Light Bright, did you have?
Like what?
Did you have Light Bright, or was that after you?
No, I don't know what that is even.
Like Andy, I had a bunch of different phases, but I liked, there was a lot of action figures and dolls and things.
Right.
There was, I didn't have G.I. Joe, but I had Big Jim.
I never heard of Big Jim.
He had a panel on the back that you'd press, and it would make his arm flail in a karate chop like manner.
I had G.I. Joe. I was into G.I. Joe at some age.
And there was a thing called Fisher-Price Adventure People, which were smaller action figures, like the size of like Star Wars action figures, and a lot of vehicles and
I just realized
gear for them.
And now that you bring it up, my favorite toy was a racetrack.
Slot car.
Yeah, is that with like a graphite thing?
Yeah, a slot car.
Yeah,
with a pin in the slot.
And then I loved it. So that got built for me when I was by one of my sister's boyfriends built it. I actually remember being excited about that, maybe for like a year.
Yeah, slot cars are good
because you could change the thing and
you could get different cars.
Yeah,
you didn't have Jackie Stewart on the package like we did, but
so it's like now thinking back on it, I don't even remember. I remember what kind of cars they were, but not much about them, except that it would jump off the track a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, because you just had a trigger to control.
Yeah.
And then video games came into my life, and those became the faves for the latter half of my growing up time.
And I missed the. I never played video games.
Yeah.
I did play some pinball on Coke.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, it was almost like defines cocaine to me. Like I kind of loved it, and I kind of didn't go anywhere. So, but I do kind of like the.
Was it like play faster, play faster, play faster?
I do like pinball machines a little bit. I kind of do
I
like
love
them.
pinball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one, and it keeps breaking, so I stopped fixing it.
Is it the Beatles one or no?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Derek Ferracci also asks, I'm moving into a new place. Do you have any new place rituals? Well, I moved into this place 20 years ago this week. So
Wow.
it's,
20 years ago this week.
yeah.
98.
Yes.
I
Trying
can't-
to think of anything we did. We had a party. We had a housewarming party that you were at. And I remember coming here before we actually moved in because I think we closed in September, but we weren't moving in until October 1st. I think.
I don't remember your own place.
I don't think you were ever there.
No.
We had a place in the studio.
This is where I remember starting to hang out.
Yeah, I remember. Did you know Ron Schock?
Yeah, I did.
I remember Ron Schock coming over one night. We were having dinner, and he wanted to see the house, so we came over, and there was no power even on yet. I don't think so. I remember, but we,
Man.
burned one in the backyard.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or as Ron Schock would say, "You want to do a number?"
He was quite a character.
He was one of the Texas Outlaw comics. With
Yeah, he was a
Kinnison
contemporary
and Bill
of-
Hicks and
Yeah.
Jack Mayberry and others.
Andy Huggins.
Sure. Velvety, Josh and Andy, when your wives are in a bad mood, how do you cheer them up other than a good joke? How do they cheer you up?
Well, that gets into a whole area of psychology because for a lot of times I would make the mistake of trying to make her feel better through things that just don't work.
Yeah.
So, actually allowing people to be sad, I think, is a big step for me, as opposed to trying to fix it. Just
Right.
allowing them to express it without having to fix it.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of value to, oh, I'm really sorry. There's a lot of value to that.
Sounded a little phony the way you just did.
Well, But I don't. It's not actively trying to cheer someone up is a fool's errand. But allowing usually it's just she'll talk about it and then
Right. But
just being able to listening to her and being a place for her to dump her shit is the best you can do, really.
right, but it happened to be one of
And there's jokes,
and there is jokes.
There's the joke light's always on in our house. So.
But my big problem was not listening to anybody. So my big problem was
is it
so for a long time she just wanted me to listen to her.
right?
And now I'm getting better at that. Not on the podcast.
What did
but-
she do?
What's that?
Well, was it? I'm just looking for tips.
I felt like the straight man there for a second.
Well, you certainly weren't the fucking punchline bearer. Joshua Cohn says, does Andy still perform on the seniors tour with Freddie Couples? I love that old joke. But seriously, how often do you both play golf? Have you ever played together? Do you follow the PGA Tour? Let's exhaust the golf subject right now.
I like to watch the majors. I'm rooting for Tiger right now. I have tried once to drive a ball a couple of times, and I used to play miniature golf, but I have no idea. I know that I don't know how to hit the golf ball, and I've seen certain tips about how you keep this thing forward and the other thing, but I haven't done it.
So you've never golfed?
I've been at this range a couple of times
Okay.
and chopped at something.
Wow. That's I mean, that you've never played golf and have an interest in watching golf is strange to me.
Well, I play miniature golf tons.
Oh, okay.
Well,
There's no correlation
what do you mean? There's putting.
between miniature golf and golf.
Well, there's putting.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
But there's no bumpers in regular, there aren't.
Bumpers?
Yeah.
There's no windmill? I get you. But the point is that putting at least is part of the golf game. The other part of the golf game, I would have to take a lesson to learn.
Okay.
So now what about your experience? I hope you were going to say now, yes, you do know how to play.
I used to play quite a bit.
Oh.
It ended up being an exercise in self-loathing.
Really? Oh, wow, I didn't know this about you.
And anger and yeah, no, I ended up just like going, I hate being bad at shit.
Right.
So, and there's no way to be good at golf if you're not a golf, It's like I would have these very unrealistic expectations of myself based on how often I played, which wasn't very often.
Right. Could you see a path to getting better, or was it more like
the path to getting better was playing a lot?
Yeah.
Which,
Who needs it?
Well, it's also like, it is such a fucking day-killing thing. It's like, it's a 5-hour game,
Right.
And it's just like, I don't have 5 hours of attention span for anything, really. So it would, I would just end up just regretting playing. And so I haven't played in 10 years. I quit. I don't even have clubs anymore.
Did your brother play?
I don't think he does anymore, no. It was a weird, my grandfather was like a lifelong great golfer, golf hustler, gambler kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he took it incredibly seriously. And my dad played when he was like a teenager. And my grandfather's seriousness about the game like ruined it for my dad for like 20 years. And so he didn't play golf my entire childhood. And then when he was like 40 something, he picked up the game again and was like passionate about it. Loved it for the last 10, 15 years of his life.
Yeah.
But and my grandpa almost ruined it for me trying to teach me when I was a kid too. But
I'm thinking about the thing you said about watching it. Like, I don't play. Actually, I can play tennis. Okay.
Right.
I know how to play tennis. I don't know how to hit what do they call it? A drive. But I love to watch tennis and golf too, because I can still appreciate it, I guess. And I only watch the majors. But no, it's like, I don't know. It's one of my favorite. Tennis and golf. I love the majors in those sports.
yeah.
It's just, I don't know what it is. I couldn't watch either one of those sports all year round, but I can watch them for 4 or 5 majors.
Well, good.
And do you watch them?
I watch it sometimes. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some years. I am sort of a Tiger groupie.
Right.
That's
Are you saying Detroit Tigers?
Yeah, I'm saying that. No, I'm not used.
Tiger groupie.
Yes. A Tiger groupie. We're talking about fucking golf. Put the pieces together.
Oh, Tiger Woods. Okay, yeah. For some reason, I couldn't figure that out. The only Tiger in that moment I could figure out was the Detroit Tigers. Al Kaline.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't make no sense, because Minnesota was where you were raised.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense because we were talking about golf.
That's true. But I guess Tiger, I'm more familiar if you had said Arnold Palmer.
You said Tiger earlier.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I know. Why am I trying to justify not knowing what you were saying?
All right, you're not tracking at all. Let's just keep plowing on. Tommy Barcanero says, have you ever dealt with mice infestation? I spotted a mice in my Astoria, New York apartment the other day, and I am dealing with that issue now. I've had roof rats in my attic here, and I've had in Minneapolis at one of my apartments there was a mouse issue, but it wasn't a big one. And I actually watched the mouse walk into the trap late one night as I was sitting there watching TV.
Why does that make you laugh?
Because it was like this very grisly, don't know exactly what to do. I don't want to see this, but I can't look away moment.
Yeah, I've had both a rat and a mouse problem. No, in the home I grew up in, we had a squirrel get in there, or maybe a mouse. But I did have a rat problem once, and it was absolutely the worst. At one of the apartments I lived at, it was just absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And we were eating dinner one night, and the trap went off.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing good about it.
No.
The disposing of it isn't fun. I hate rats. Now, would I like them if I met? They say rats laugh. I'm not joking either. They say rats laugh and they play.
I believe it.
But we're programmed to hate them.
Yeah.
But my father said my grandfather had no fear of anything.
Yeah.
And he was a plumber, and he would go into these horrible basements and rats the sizes of sheep. He just couldn't care less about it. Had no fear.
Well, I mean, if you were a fucking New Yorker in the early 1900s, what the fuck are you going to squirm at a rat for? You know?
Well, like it's the gangs of New York, maybe.
I'm just saying, it wasn't, sanitation wasn't New York's hallmark.
I just hate the whole idea. I don't like roaches either. I don't like any of it. I don't like pestilence.
No, I easily shudder at a lot of that shit.
Yeah. I also don't think the roach motel is an effective way to get rid of anything.
No, I've never had a roach problem.
Right. But the roach motel, you agree with me that it's not the best. It sounds like a system I would come up with.
Yeah.
They go and they check in, but they don't check out. Well, there's got to be more than going to that. Why am I doing this to myself?
I don't understand. Are you picturing them actually taking out little credit cards?
Well, you've seen a roach motel. Have you ever seen roaches in a roach motel? I hope no one's eating during this podcast.
I've seen someone shake a roach motel and go, yep, they're in there.
It sounds like a great party. What? Did you choose the sound of wooden balls? Pretty good, right? Are we meeting Alex at the time?
I don't know. I haven't been able to read it because I'm trying to do a podcast.
Really?
Wow, he's not on tonight. Let's just say.
That's good.
All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah. One finger, you know that song? One finger, one thumb, one schmoop, schmoop, keep moving. Are all those songs made to make us hate music? Like Pig, Pack, Packy, Whack, Schmeaky, Schmacky, Boom. They're all terrible songs. This old man, he played one. Name one public domain song that you go, boy, I love that one.
Andy Dunda Kindler is a dirty, filthy swindler in the morning.
Andrew David Bratnose is an ugly, disgusting fat nose.
It's Fat Nose Bratnose, isn't it?
And
Andy David Fatnose is a lousy, disgusting Bratnose in the morning.
Andrew David Kindler is an ugly swindler. Andrew David Kindler is an ugly, dirty swindler in the mall. I never can get the key. See, I think if you pick a key, then it's easy.
Ning.
Morning.
He says, what would be the title of your manifesto?
It would be... Did Marx have one? Was it called
Das
a manifesto?
Kapital?
Das Kapital. Mine would be Das Crony Capitalism. Pretty good.
Well played, sir.
Well played, sir.
Yeah, it would be something, and a third thing. If it was, that would be your manifesto.
Well, you're not like a Unabomber. What's your if a manifesto?
My manifesto would be a defense of reason.
Well, doesn't the manifesto mean that it's bad? No, I guess not. I guess it could be in the.
Well, it's arrogant. No matter what, if you're writing a manifesto, there's a certain arrogance.
Like, isn't that guy who was it Luther who all of a sudden changed all these rules?
Yeah, let's get into the Reformation. I think that's good turf for us.
Jesus Christmas. Jesus Christmas.
Michelle Wisecarver says, loved the Joel Hodgson party theme last week, Josh Weinstein. I was humming 38 different songs all day. After such horrific news weekend as this, what do you guys do to bring yourselves out of despair, sadness, wanting to punch shit?
I turned the TV off. That helped a little bit.
That was brilliant. That was healthy.
Right after Susan Collins' horrible speech.
I smoke pot and write jokes.
Yeah, but it was a hard weekend, everybody.
It wasn't fun.
But Michelle, just that you reached out to us in the family of the Spiral. I don't know. I'm not trying to claim we have a family. It's not like a Manson family. But anyway, it does help when people reach out and commiserate that they're also having a miserable time. And beware people who say, pretty good week for our country.
If we can all agree on one thing, it's that it's a terrible time to be alive.
Thank you. Oh, that's the other thing. Now, I wanted to ask you, I had a question for you, Josh.
Yes.
Anthony Bourdain, I notice he's still on.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
Okay, so
Andy?
now does he get more depressed like in the last episode?
I think it's a downhill slide.
That's a joke I came up with earlier.
Yeah.
Like a guy who thinks
Have you been doing the other stuff?
I haven't done it. I haven't done it because I haven't been performing, but I love that
You
joke.
were going to do it for the rest of Toronto when we talked that day.
And I didn't do it, so I'm an idiot.
Well, I don't know if you,
Well,
have to,
you said it.
I don't know if you have to go all the way there, but
You never say, don't go all the way there. You kind of say, you don't know if I have to go all the way there, but you're not so upset that I feel terrible about myself. It keeps me down, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I
Restrained.
should stop giving you so much rope, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't think you should clamp down on me completely. What are we in a zoo?
When did Nick Kosei says, when did potato become tomato? Or am I mistaken from the onset? Either way, love the show. Nothing makes me laugh more than listening to you fellers. Larry King on the line with Larry King from Test Show 73 was an instant classic.
I think you came up with tomato and potato, and is it kind of like a Wolfman Jack thing?
It's kind of like an Artie Johnson thing.
Yeah, like a Walnetto.
Yeah. It's a laugh-in style punctuation is what it's meant to be.
Well, if you listen to Morning Zoo radio, like they would have stuff where they have something from a detective movie. Look, pal, get the hell over here. And they would have all these stupid
Samples,
things
yes.
that after a while.
Oh, you wise guy.
Yeah. That's got to get old the second time you do it.
It did, if you
know.
recall.
I did. Why you?
Mark Turetsky. Andy, any places you like to go when you're in Montreal?
Yeah. I like the Fairmount Bagel. I like St. Viator's Bagels. I like the... You're giving me a weird look. It's so funny. And now you're giving me a funny look, right?
Yeah. I was trying to...
I love smoked meat. I love everything in Montreal. I love the French food. The city's beautiful. It's all great. I like to eat a lot.
All right.
And beauties.
And part 2 is, are you guys as sad as I am that Johnny Cash didn't live long enough to record a mournful cover of Karen in his final years? I knew a girl named Karen.
Karen. Oh, Karen.
That person isn't me.
I have to say, I have to say I got sick of a boy named Sue pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, Shel Silverstein isn't the guy you want writing your country songs.
Oh, he wrote that one?
Yeah.
And then how did Johnny Cash get into it? I don't know. I have interesting questions, if nothing else.
Really? Could you bring some out?
Something to think about. Something to think about, Josh.
Emilio Fox says you guys have hyped up the failed test show with Alex so much that I'm dying to hear it. Name
Me
your
too.
price.
Me too. Well, there's going to be something else that comes up as I look over there to make sure we're still recording. Something else will come up.
You son of a bitch.
And I think we'll probably, when we get the paywall up, that will definitely be a bonus track.
Absolutely. That's Patreon waiting to happen, isn't it?
In 1 minute, this podcast will end. Please do something.
Aaron Raymer says, I know Andy's speech is kind of a roast of the industry, but would he consider going on roast battle? Or do you only roast those you hate?
Oh, I've thought about it. I'm not very good at it, but it does interest me. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like the idea. I can make fun of people's shirts, but I can't get... I don't think it's... For some reason, it's not my strength.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I could do it better than you.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't worry as much about the aftermath.
Right.
But it's not my thing. I mean, I like insulting you. I enjoy that, but...
Right, but even when I had time to write about Chevy Chase, I thought, I'll come up with a million things. And I was like, I didn't come up with as many as I thought I would. And plus, I went on last after every single thing had been said about him.
But do you would it have gone better earlier?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might have even had a chance. There would have been a slight chance of me doing well if I went on first.
Yeah. And it didn't make the final thing? Is that what I think we've answered this before, but Darren M. Crilly says, when they make the Thought Spiral movie, who will play each of you? I'm going to go Wallace Shawn with hair, Kevin Smith without hair.
You know, I don't want to think about it.
Or Seth Rogen without hair, for me.
I don't even want to think about it because doesn't it mean we're dead?
No, I think we'll be legends.
Like Bob and Ray?
And then we can do the press tour along with the movie with our doppelgangers. Chaotic Neutral says, have either of you thought about doing an I Need You to Kill style documentary about the next State of the Industry address? I think we've been doing an audio documentary about the State of the Industry address the last 2 years, really.
Yeah. And I don't think it's...
Watching Andy panic isn't that great a movie.
No. I've had other opportunities to do day in the life of myself, and I wasn't persuaded that my life was...
Reorganizing my pockets.
Yeah.
Stacking sugar packets.
Separating the antibacterial wipes from the ones that are just handy wipes for sensitive skin.
You know what, Andy?
We're done?
I think we've plowed through our hopper.
Wow, I think we did. I'm disappointed in myself just generally, and I don't know, but I have no energy. How about you right now? Do you have energy?
I'm
More
okay.
than me.
I'm not looking for more, but
You're not going to go out after this to the bars.
No, but I don't think it was necessarily our best outing. I don't think you did show up fully. I think you weren't tracking all the way tonight.
I love when you come. Here's the thing: that you're the only person in the world who would say out loud to another person, "Well, you're not tracking." All right, as if I'm not alive. I'm not here anymore. He's not getting it, Susan. Susan, you can keep talking. It doesn't matter. He's out. How long has he been out for, Susan? Since you're 30. Yeah, I don't know what I blame myself for everything.
Well, I don't.
I think it's going to be...
I didn't need to pile on, I know.
Oh, it hurts. But I just want to say, if you want to write to us, please write to us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
That's correct, Andy.
And include a self-addressed stamped envelope. If you want us to send something to you in an envelope, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to us. I won't do that. Why am I encouraging it?
I don't know. I don't know, but you didn't give them an address, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, 555.55. I fooled him again with my...
I take it back. Top of your game.
Please rent or watch I Need You to Kill. Also, tomorrow through Saturday, if you're listening to this right now within the sound of my voice, you could see Josh Elvis Weinstein at Acme Comedy Club in downtown Minneapolis with Chris Bliss.
Yeah.
The last time these guys will be doing it. And that has nothing to do with anything other than a... Don't forget to see Andy's tweets. Okay, pal.
All right, man. I feel bad leaving it like this. I really do.
Why is that? Why do we feel? Because we should have more. We should have the same energy going in.
Well, it's not, I don't think admitting defeat is the way to end a show.
No, I think you're supposed to pretend. I think you're not even supposed to do anything I do on stage.
Oh, okay.
Like, that didn't go well.
All
This
right.
isn't good.
May the rest of your week be equally counterintuitive.